a selection from Ulysses when it is embedded in a restaurant. You may notice what I have here is not a copy of Ulysses. It is a copy of a restaurant guidebook, word of mouth, 1973 edition. 1973 happened to be the year that I moved to New York City. This was one of the first things I acquired after moving here. It was written by a man named Jim Quinn. Jim was quite a clever writer. Unfortunately, this book proved to be a one-off. There never was a 1974 or any subsequent edition of this book. Just to place the timing in perspective, he classified restaurants as either inexpensive, moderate, or expensive. Inexpensive was under $5 a person, moderate between $5 and $10, and expensive was over $10 a person. Those were the days, folks. Quinn was himself quite a good writer. I'm going to read you just a short excerpt of one of his other reviews, just to give you a taste of his own style. This was his review of a steak restaurant somewhere near Times Square. And this is the final paragraph. Now dig in. Your grease is cooled enough to give the illusion you're eating Vaseline. The steak has been tenderized so thoroughly that it has all the texture and taste of an expensive kid glove, after someone wearing it changed and drained a dirty crankcase. The potato is awash in neatsfoot oil. Your garlic bun is slowly expanding like a dry sponge dropped in a rendering vat. And, as a special bonus, you won't need to add any salt. The chef sweats on the meat. Now, this was one of his F restaurant reviews. He graded on a curve, A to F. It was a very steep curve. The only restaurant to receive an A was the late lamented Lutece. The majority of them scored in the C range. But one of the restaurants that received an F was the Blarney Stone, located at 359 West 34th Street. This was an inexpensive restaurant. Now, in getting into this review, at some point, Mr. Quinn's pen was taken over by that of James Joyce. So let me read you the beginning of the review, and then you'll be able to tell perhaps where Mr. Joyce takes over Mr. Quinn's pen. Blarney Stone is not, contrary to popular opinion, the material out of which Martello Tower was built, but a chain of restaurant bars offering cheap food and even cheaper whiskey. Most Blarney Stones are long smoky rooms, bar on one side, steam table on the other, booths and tables in the back. Not all the customers are men in faded Adams fedoras, and no more than 3/4 are Irish. But that's enough to give these places the air of a working-class restaurant in Dublin around the turn of the century, say 1904. So, to really enjoy your visit, come on June 16th, when business is blooming. Last year, you might have found your heart astir as you pushed in the door. Stink gripped your trembling breath. Pungent meat juice, slop of green. Men, men, men. Perched in high stools by the bar, hats shoved back at the tables swelling, wolfing gobbets of sloppy food, their eyes bulging, wiping wetted mustaches. A pallid, suet-faced young man polished his tumbler, knife, and fork and spoon with his napkin. New set of microbes. A man with an infant's sweat-stained napkin tucked around him shoveled gurgling gristle, no teeth to chew it. Chomp chomp from the grill, bolting to get it over. Sad boozer's eyes, bitten off more than he could chew. Smells of men, spat on sawdust, sweetish, warmish cigarette smoke, reek of plug, spilt beer, men's beery piss, the stale of ferment, fellow sharpening knife and fork to eat all before him, old chap picking his toodles, slight spasm, full, chewing the cud, grace after meals, stopping up stew gravy with sopping sippets of bread. Lick it off the plate, man. That fellow ramming a knife full of cabbage down as if his life depended on it. Give you the fidgets to look. Safer to eat from his free hands. tear it limb from limb. An ill-girt server gathered sticky, flattering plates. A diner, knife and fork upright, elbows on table, other chap telling him something with his mouth full. Sympathetic listener, word of mouth. I munched from Munster Bank on Munch Day. There are no desserts and no tabletop flowers and no tablecloths and no reasons for actually eating here. Simply stop in for a minute and manufacture a reason for leaving. Or bring your own, in ray flowers, doubtful Leopold bloom to lips, while your eyes say, not here, don't see him, back to the door and leave. Now you can accept the Blarney Stone for what it is, a parody of a restaurant every bit as important as the work it makes loving fun of.